Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is a live update from Mississippi Live Weather.
Hello from the home weather station here. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Loppon from Mississippi Live Weather. Hopefully you're doing all right today on this Monday. It's been a beautiful day, and if you haven't found time to try to venture outside, you probably should, because the weather is fantastic. Couple midday things we're talking about here. We'll get to this weather, which is pretty nice out there for most locations at this time. And then we'll also talk about a couple things. An update to the app that's just now been released. I probably want to lead with that there. And then a cool thing we're doing on Fridays that you can help us with our Friday Night Football game of the week. That's going to take some branding. Takes me a while to get used to it. Friday Night Football game of the week there. But I want to start off with the app. If you have our Mississippi Live Weather app, thank you. We just appreciate the about 120,000 of you that have downloaded that in this what largely is off season. And good morning, of course, to you, Tessa, there on YouTube right now. Of course, can see some of your chat back and forth on that. We'll try to see if we can address some questions there. But if you have the app, an update has recently come out for that app, and I'd highly recommend you downloading. I think it kind of helps out on some of the battery efficiency there. And I know a lot of folks have already gone through and done this. If you haven't, there's the option on your phone. Let me go ahead and pull up mine here. In particular, we're talking about Apple devices here. If I click my letters in the upper right-hand corner and click apps, it should, under my apps, kind of list them all and then show the ones that need updating there. Now, I have already updated on mine, so that wouldn't work as efficiently there. But if you click on the Mississippi Live Weather app, ignore all the smushes there, but there's the button there where mine says open. You can also click update on yours. Highly recommend you doing that because in updating the app, it should work better as far as the efficiency of it is concerned on battery life. So something certainly we recommend that you do. So kind of cool that that's out. Still working again on some of those over-the-top sort of apps there. We have some cool things, I think, coming on the Roku app and some of those other ones when they finally get released. But we'll get to that point here eventually. So big thing right now. Update the app because it will work a lot better, and we appreciate all of you guys for doing that. Another thing that we kind of alluded to a moment ago there that I think is pretty cool that's coming up here is something I went ahead and had Leo record something on this, so I'll get out of the way and let him talk for a second. So let me pull that up for you on whichever browser I have that up. That'd be this one over here. And then it's going to replay. So we are going to be doing a Friday Night Football game of the week. It's a way to get out and showcase different communities across North Mississippi. So in some cases, that's going to be being like a bunch of different towns, and hopefully we try to hit different locations each time we do that. So that game of the week initially here, still trying to figure that out. So you can see kind of on the screen there on the right-hand side, some folks. A number of folks starting to leave their locations. We're looking for this week in particular. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the locations that you suggest there, and we're going to select 3, and then we're going to let folks vote on those tomorrow so we can narrow down where we're going to be for our Friday Night Football game of the week. What this means for you is we're going to be live, which is always kind of fun. We're also going to feature, I think, a band and cheerleaders of the week from that location. So obviously the entrance on band and cheerleaders of the week can come from that game of the week location there. So we get the video, and then we're going to shoot some highlights on that. Something I've done the last few years back at the old place, shoot some highlights from that location and showcase those on our game of the week during our 10 o'clock broadcast from Mississippi Live Weather at 10. So kind of a number of things we're doing here. First of those, of course, getting your suggestions now on Tuesday, allowing you to vote on which of the games should be our game of the week location. And again, we're going to try to spread that out, not just be, all locations that are close by here. Might even go venture out a ways to see some of those locations, but we'll need your help to figure those out. And then look at the feature some bands and cheerleaders of the week later on in the week, and of course go live from location, show those highlights on our 10 o'clock broadcast. Hopefully we'll have, I think, a few different sets of football highlights on that Mississippi Live weather at 10 o'clock as we now venture into football season. But of course, we need your help on that. In that link on our Facebook page, we highly recommend you suggest, of course, this week's games. And each week we're going to be asking that question again. So be looking for that post. That'll be on Mondays. We're kind of soliciting who are going to be our Friday Night Football game of the week. And so we just appreciate all the folks who have already suggested that. We see Red Bay, Alabama there. Potential game of the week. Love to have that there. I have one week in particular, Red Bay, Belmont. I'm kind of cheering for at this point here. I know that's a big one. There's a lot of other huge games that we do have around over the course of the season. So many rivalries, and we appreciate everyone who will support us in that there. We see Choctaw, Kosciuszko, September 26th. That's a little down the road there. We'll see. That might end up being our game of the week that we end up going there. Solgen at Winfield there. So a lot of cool games out there. RA starting to come in. Biggersville, Tupelo versus Brandon. Give your suggestions. We'd love to try to showcase your community there as well. I don't know that we're going all the way down to Brandon for that one, simply because I think we want to kind of showcase if we're live locations in our coverage area here. Again, Solgent is in our coverage area in West Alabama, so that one could potentially qualify, but we'd like to see who you would suggest, and then we'll vote on those there. So kind of exciting thing that we're looking forward to doing this year, a new thing, but I think you guys will like it, and hopefully it's something you will enjoy. Of course, at the midday time period, we want to talk about what is a fantastic day outside. One of those locations we always like showcasing there in Aberdeen, coming in right now, 81 degrees, and man, it is pretty nice out there. Aberdeen is not in the minority in that way. Pontotoc looking just about as good at this instant, though that temperature in Pontotoc, as we wait for that to come up, 79 degrees, feels like 79. Whoo! It's some fake fall out there, but there's nothing fake about the fact that it feels nice. It's just not something that's going to linger a super long period of time there. There's one other person I'd like to talk to here, and we'll see if she can get it all fired up. We are going to be starting our morning show a little later on this week, and we might do a separate live stream for that here a little later on in the early afternoon. Our meteorologist, Maggie McCauley, is going to start up a morning show. That's going to be going on, I think, at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 a.m. We're going to have live hits as part of that morning show. We're so excited to have her. She's just such a quality human being and a great meteorologist, and I think a pretty nice person to watch on TV as well. She's just a great way to wake up in the morning, great smile. So I'm excited to have her a part of our team here. We've talked about it off and on a lot over the last month and a half. I can't believe it's only really been a month and a half. Well, getting closer to 2 months there. But we are going to be bringing Maggie on, and just so excited about having her a part of the team. So I plan on trying to do a live broadcast with her a little later on. Give me 2 seconds here as I pull something else up. I'll see if she can get the system all up and ready to go. Maybe we'll have her on here for a second with us. Give me just a second here while I call that up. And while I'm calling that up, we'll check out a couple other locations out there, just kind of see how things are looking. I think Maben camera should be back up and going. It was down a little bit. Appreciate the North Mississippi Storm Chasers with that. I have Aiden up here. Hey, Maggie. Hey, so I'm doing a quick live stream. If you want to hop on, you can. That's kind of up to you. If you think you can get it all fired up and want to give it a go, or if you want to wait a little later, we can do that too.
Okay, whatever you think. I can try it out. I have Maya with me, but that's no big deal.
Yeah, no, that's not no problem at all. I mean, come on, that's part of the reason why you're doing it this way and not the other way, right?
Yeah, you're right. Hey, I'll get off and I'll try to get it going, and then I'll give you a call back.
Perfect. I will look, and I'll see if I see you fired up there. I'll pull up the live shot behind the screen here, and if I see you fired up, I'll just kind of pop you up there if you're good with that. Sweet. Okay, talk to you in a minute. Bye. One of the cool things about this is we can just pop Maggie up on the fly like that as we're just kind of learning what to do. But, want to give you all a little bit of what resembles a forecast on a midday here. And it is pretty, it's nice stuff out there. Let's see. Outside right now, 8 to 10, as you can see, 81, that current temperature there. I'm going to pop this back over to, give me a moment here to kind of pop this back to more of a forecast sort of element over the next couple of hours here. Our day planner looking pretty nice out there, that's for sure, on that forecast hour by hour. At 81 degrees, as you can see, noontime. 84, that's it for the high. It is about as nice as you're going to get for this time of year out there for today on those north winds, low humidity, just overall pretty spectacular as far as conditions are concerned. Here's a look at Futurecast. We do show the slightest chance for a few lighter showers moving in from the north and west as we progress throughout the latter part of today. Again, not a lot of meaningful moisture from this at this point. And I do want to go back here, give me a moment, and see how that's verifying on kind of the wider shot here. We kind of mentioned this a minute ago. Those temperatures are in pretty nice shape. I'll widen this out back out here. Yeah, 70s, low 80s out there with the humidity, with the measure of moisture, extremely manageable at this time. I'll pull that up here for a second. Let's look at national and then dew point. Again, yeah, anytime these numbers are in kind of this green there. I mean, green means moisture. It's not all the way to dry. But it's certainly an improvement over what we have had recently. So definitely things looking a lot better as far as that is concerned. And so that has made a big difference on that feels like. That's why the actual temperature, the feels like temperatures, you can see within a degree or two of one another. So really in pretty good shape as far as that is concerned. But the reason I kind of went over here for a second, I want to see if we're actually have anything, and we'll clear out all those numbers and stuff. A few light showers up to the north and west, kind of with this disturbance back up that way there. I'll put this on, let's say, a 12-hour loop there to look at that. And you can see generally working toward us. So some lighter amounts of moisture possible with this as it moves toward the area. Look at some of that moisture potential here. We will, give me a moment to pull up hydrology. Okay, so just kind of looking at kind of the one-day rainfall amounts, as you can see, much more likely back to the north and west related from this. Go ahead and minimize this. That keeps throwing me off. And make that full screen. There we go. As we look toward tomorrow, again, amounts of precipitation, pretty minimal. I mean, when you start looking at our area in either case, bring it back to today for a second, and we just kind of plop on how much the projections here kind of have. As you can see, rather underwhelming, right? And you look toward tomorrow, continue to be rather underwhelming by midweek. Yep. As we go through the week. Later this week, some slightly better chances, and we'll talk a lot more about that on Mississippi Live Weather at 5 and 6 o'clock today on our next main live broadcast. But again, that kind of wave with some showers around related to that. So again, moisture, not particularly impressive over the next couple of days, despite the fact that obviously here on Futurecast, we show a little bit out there. Hi, Penny. Okay, just watching. Okay. So some sprinkles back to the west, kind of rolling in as we progress into this early evening. But again, more often than not, if I just step to this side for a second, you'll see most of that kind of works out of here before it actually kind of gets into our area there. So again, there's a little bit of moisture there to talk about, but not much. I mean, anytime we get something in here that's more substantial, overnight we show just a little bit there, only a few yellows even showing up. So not a lot of that as well. So this is largely, more than anything else, relatively dry conditions. And so those limited rain chances, first part of your Tuesday. Again, we'll refine this forecast more as we go through the day, but yeah, that's right. While I show that percentage on there, that's a very early part of the day before we end up probably seeing anything that's more significant related to this. So again, we'll refine that again coming up tonight on Mississippi Live Weather at 5 and 6 o'clock. As I step forward here for a moment. Again, normal this time of year, around 91. So we are well below that, even into the extended forecast there with some rain chances on the way again as we look toward this upcoming weekend. Well, I see you up there, Maggie. So this is your like 20-second warning. Before I kind of pop you up there to let you know I'm seeing you there. So we'll feature our meteorologist, Maggie McCauley, here in a second. I think I got a thumbs up from her. So we'll go ahead, and if you're ready, Maggie, I see her audio. We'll pop you up.
What's up, Matt? Can you hear me? I was trying to check my mic.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. We're working on this.
Okay, well, there you go. See, that worked pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can key us both on at the same time yet, but welcome.
Okay, yeah, but hey, this works, right? One step forward, right? Yeah. Hey, welcome.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad
the
to
fact
be
that
here.
you're up there in Senatobia doing this,
Yeah.
and I'm down here at my house in Saltillo doing this means we're almost ready to launch this thing, right?
No, it is, and I'm really excited for it. Me and Matt were getting stuff together last night, and it's really, you might hear Maya in the background. She's talking. She can see me on there, but it's really starting to come together, and I'm getting really, really excited. And technology is just so advanced, Matt. It's just crazy that I can do this and hear you all the way from Senatobia and you're in Tupelo. It's crazy.
Absolutely. And if I took some time, I could hack together a two box where you could see us both at the same time. I
Yeah.
just haven't put that together yet. You mentioned Maya, and I just appreciate you being willing to join us on this crazy adventure. But I know that that was a big part of the reason why you decided to do this, right?
Yeah, no, it is because news and TV can just be so demanding, and I wanted to make time for my family, specifically for my 9 month old, and be able to still be her primary caregiver and all of that. And Matt has just given me a job where I can do what I love and still get to be at home. So I'm really excited for it. I think it's a new advance in the way we bring weather and news and all of that. So I'm excited to kind of be on the forefront of that. And Maya is
Well,
too.
well, and I'm excited because it was really hard for us as a family to balance the work life balance, and that's a problem for
Mhm.
so many people. And let's just come out and say it: so many women in
Yeah.
any type of industry, but especially in television. I mean, when people are home is when we're live typically, and so
Yeah,
that means when
exactly.
childcare is always a problem.
No, it is. And I think everybody, especially being a woman before, not having a baby and being in news and then being in it and trying to balance all of that, just kind of figuring out where you lie on all of that. And everybody's different, but I'm glad to kind of get to do both. And you're making it that way. So I'm excited to get to again bring weather to North Mississippi. And for Maya to get to watch that too, because we'll be at home. So she's gonna kind of get to see all this unfold too. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it is kind of a funny, not quite full circle thing, but a couple of seconds ago before I popped you on, as I was, I think, talking about a graphic, I looked over and I have some sliding doors over to, and I'll flip back to me for a second. I'll see if I can keep your mic
Yeah, go
on.
ahead.
And I can't really show people this, but just off camera, that direction there, I have some sliding doors, and then Penny had her head just kind of creeped in there, looking over at me at this, and so she finds it interesting watching me on television, just kind of talk and work with you. So it's interesting. You go from 9 month old to now she's coming up on almost 12 years old. And I think they both have a similar fascination for it. Well, I don't know if they have similar fascination, but I think it'll be kind of cool to get them to watch a little bit of how things are made. And it's nice to be around them a little bit more, right?
Yeah, it is. And I know they're excited to get to see you and more of you at home, like you're doing that at home. I mean, how exciting is that to get to just watch you do this and start up this? I know that they're excited just like Maya is. And I know she'll want to take it over one day too, Matt. We'll see.
Yeah, and I'll ask you this question. I made an assumption here,
Mhm.
but I'm curious about this. I feel like it's so hard to keep quality people in TV nowadays just because
Yeah.
salaries are not great, hours are borderline terrible. There is a possibility that with work always being there, that things become more active and maybe on more than you want. But that we're bringing you on largely on kind of a part-time plus basis, just so that you can hopefully find a little bit of work-life balance.
Yeah, no, that's right. And there's not a lot of jobs for meteorologists, news in general that are like this, where you can still, again, be at home, but also do what you love. So I'm excited to get to be on the mornings, forecast for North Mississippi, and then still take care of Maya in the afternoons and all of that. Because I was just trying to figure out, I left my job trying to figure out what that looks like for me. Still want to work, still want to be primarily at home, and you've made that work. And again, that's just not normal. It is few and far between to find jobs where you can do both. So I'm excited for it.
So I'm popping myself on camera on this one here so you can hold me accountable on this, and the rest of the people at home can. I want this to be something that long-term works for you and your family, because I believe that if we take care
Right.
of you, that you'll want to stay. And I saw someone on the chat a minute ago say, hey, it was hard to see you leave us, Maggie. I'm glad you're back. And so, hold me accountable on
Absolutely.
if all of a sudden I'm asking too much of you and your family. I'm saying this in front of everybody. I want you and everybody to tell me I'm asking too much, so that we can find the best way to make this good for the viewers. And obviously, there's going to be long, long hours when we get in severe weather. That's just part of it. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that.
Right.
But when it's sunny and clear, trying to make sure that this is something that is in addition to your life. Because I think in this country, we've gone to where working 40 hours is something that is not just the expectation, but it's the bare minimum. And then it's, it's really more 60 hours. And I can confess right now, it's more like 75, 80 hours a week from my perspective, so this is me calling myself out in front of everybody to say, hopefully I can try to make this something that long-term is good time-wise for you and your family to grow, so that it's something you want to do for more than a year or 2 years or 5 years. Something's gone really right if we've done this 5 years from now, you're still wanting to do this.
Yeah, no, that's right. And I really appreciate it. I think that's why you're going to keep people long-term on this team, though. You want people, like, I'm really glad you guys are saying, oh, I'm excited to see you. You want people you know and you trust every day. And so if Matt makes that job more desirable where we can balance our work life and our family life, well, then, yeah, we are going to stay, and you're making it that way. So I'm excited to stay on for the long haul. I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for that. Just hold me accountable to that. That's the reason I'm doing it in front of everyone else.
Everybody else will too.
I appreciate that. Okay. Well, I thank you so much for joining us this morning. And, of course, I think we're going to be starting. I'm still targeting Wednesday, but the question, I'll probably need to get off of the computer here in a minute. We'll talk offline about trying to just stack some shows and stuff like that, just some of the behind the scenes sort of stuff. But hopefully Wednesday. You think Wednesday maybe?
I think Wednesday sounds good. I think we're on track for that. I got this up and going while you were on live, and I was really proud of myself. So I think that's a step in the right direction. I think
you're extremely capable. Like, this isn't just me handing somebody, no, like, you are going to be an incredible contributing part of this team. And I'm just, it speaks volumes about the state of the TV industry that someone of your caliber was even available. So I'm very excited to have you as part of this team. I know you're going to be you're a great person, a quality human being, and the fact that, someone at your talent level is even willing to do this, I'm just so excited. So thank you so much.
Well, no problem. We're excited, and we're excited to all get to work together again too.
Yeah. So if I'll pop it to me for a second while I am looking through the list here. And we have had some comments and questions come in. I just haven't had a chance to really look at many of them. A lot of folks saying hi and welcome. And let me kind of go back up here at the top so we can see. Just a lot of well wishers coming here on Facebook, on YouTube in particular. Typically, those tend to be our chattiest. Oh, we missed the Maya shot there. I saw the corner of my eye. And I get that, and I would say that, like, I've been kind of out there with my family where they've always been in the mix. I don't know that that's what you necessarily want from Maya, and that's okay. And I'm going to try to respect that as much as possible. And I would ask that folks at home would be willing to do the same thing as well. If you choose to make an appearance, that's great. If not, that's perfectly acceptable as well. I want you to do what's best for you and your family. As far as that is concerned.
She probably eventually will. That's for
sure. she'll wander in asking for more milk or cereal or something like that.
Yep.
I get that. A lot of folks talk about how Memphis is a tough gig, and you were it was a good station. I think they were good to you. It's just it's time consuming driving back and forth.
Yeah, no, it was a really good station. I really enjoyed my job and the team there. It was just very time consuming. I lived 30 plus miles away. I worked the weekends, so every week my schedule was very different. So that was fun when it was just me and my husband, but you throw a 9-month-old in the mix and it doesn't become as fun anymore, right? So
things change very quickly. Yeah,
she agrees.
She agrees, but it really is, I've said this over and over again, like, if I died tomorrow, okay, people would be sad, and people talk about me the first 2 severe weather events, maybe a little beyond that, but my family's the only people that really truly really truly will miss me and you have an impact on long term. There's just a finite number of years you have a chance to be around them.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
I get that. This is your opportunity to plug here. Is there a reason why you all live in Senatobia?
Yes, there is a reason why we live in Senatobia. So a quick backstory, me and my husband met at Mississippi State. It's where I study meteorology. And he was called to pastor there as well. So he moved up here to intern in Hernando. And then we actually are church planting in Senatobia. We have been meeting at the BSU on the Northwest campus for about 2 years now, consistently on Sunday mornings. It's called Senatobia Bible Church. So it's been a really good time. Sorry, I had to get my stuff away from Maya, but it's been a really good time here in Senatobia. We've made home here. So it's nice to get to continue to serve the community that I'm in, because we're including all of North Mississippi, which I'm really excited for, Matt. I think that's going to be really good and really beneficial for the entire northern half of the state.
I agree. And you mentioned that because and I guess some people know where Senatobia is. I would say a lot of people probably know where Senatobia is, but not everybody probably does. So let's go ahead and pop that on the map and bring this to now for a second. So Senatobia is over here. It's what I guess most well known because that's where Northwest Mississippi Community College is, right?
Right. Which really growing place. And it's off of 55 too. So just a stop off the interstate.
Exactly. So, it's a growing place. And I think what that will afford us to do is, if you're willing, if time with Maya allows, some more school visits back here in the northwest part of the state that are more difficult for us to get all the way from Tupelo kind of out to.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that, especially again, Tate County, Panola County, over in the Delta. I'd be totally willing and excited to go and visit those areas that we're serving, especially because we've talked about this, but they're so underserved. So getting a face out there with the name as well, and getting to serve those schools and then serve them in severe weather coverage too. It'll be really good for that area.
Absolutely. And dare I say that I'm just so excited that the resolution has stayed up on your call the whole time.
I know, it looks so good. I've been looking at it and I'm like, wow.
That's been really the challenge, and some folks have probably have kind of wanted to know. It's like, well, and I've gotten this quite a few times lately. People are like, hey, so when is Maggie starting? And one of the technical things on our roadmap we've had a hard time figuring out is being able to get her into the same switcher so we can go back and forth and switch between this. We had it, I think, fairly early on where she could broadcast straight from there directly into the channel, but the ability to mix it back and forth is important for severe weather coverage or something like this where we can work cooperatively. And it's not just she's in her lane and we're in our lane. This allows us to kind of do all things at the same time there, so that if something happens and something goes on with Maya, that I can walk into this room here and come on and take care of the stuff, and we just all kind of work together for you so that we can at home give you kind of the best coverage possible.
That's right.
So anyway, I'll flip back to you one more time. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just really excited to get started and wake up with you guys. So make sure to tune in the mornings. We'll be dropping those times. I don't know if Matt wants to tell you, but we'll be dropping those times soon, starting probably on Wednesday, but for sure this work week. So you can start waking up with us and getting the latest and greatest forecasts in the morning hours, and again, continuing into the evening as well. But I'm excited for it to get started and just continue the coverage for Mississippi Live Weather in the morning.
Yeah, and you mentioned those coverage times here for a second. I'll pop those on the screen here for a moment. And you can see those coming up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock tonight will be live. But we will start doing morning show stuff. And I think we will adjust as need indicates. But we'll be live right at straight up 6:30, right at straight up 7, and right straight up 7:30 in the morning. So on any of those days, you pop open that app. Maggie will be live Monday through Friday at those times there. We'll have other updated recorded updates as well. But we're doing this for you guys. And frankly, if y'all don't watch a specific one of those times, then we can adjust as necessary to accommodate that. I'll tell you that I do not foresee a scenario where we're doing 4:30 in the morning on just a normal sunny day, because I frankly just don't think that makes any sense. Simply because I don't know that in general, a lot of folks tend to be up and really at them at that point of day. So I think long term, we're probably going to try to stick this a little later in the morning, because that's when more people are up. And who knows, maybe this time of the day becomes some time that we end up doing a little more regularly. We've got to figure that kind of stuff out. So the more feedback you get from us, the more we'll do. And I did have somebody ask, Shane on Facebook was asking about suspenders, Maggie. I think Maggie will probably be suspenderless, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'll be in a dress or maybe some pants, but no suspenders for me. I'll leave that.
Yeah, that's perfectly okay.
Yeah, dress and pants for me. Thanks for asking, though.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. Emily does have a pair of flowered suspenders, but those probably won't make air either. But yeah, I think the suspender thing is kind of funny because I guess I'll flip back over to me for a second. The suspender thing's kind of funny because that's not something I'm like, hey, you have to have a pair of suspenders. But I think it's just one of the ways that the younger folks have just kind of honored what we have done here, which I think is kind of cool. But suspenders are not a requirement, male or female, to be on Mississippi Live Weather. That's just something that's kind of happened. Maybe Maya will wear the suspenders, right?
Yeah, maybe she will. She might need them. So we're really small right now.
So anyway, okay, well, we will kind of wrap things up here. Hey, I appreciate you, Maggie, for coming online with us. I do want to check one thing before we go. See if you can force that go all the way full screen at the very top of your screen there. If you'll see that it's got the 4 arrows kind of pointed toward the corners right above the E in Doppler.
Yes,
and I want to check and see if that.
my mouse, and then I will do it.
What'd you say?
I said I'm going to find my mouse, and then I'm right on it. Here it is.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. There we go. Let me double check.
One thing I
if that
forgot
works.
to do. I'm getting in on it. I got it up.
If that is the only thing you forget to do, things have gone very, very well so far. So,
I knew
yeah,
it looked a little different. I knew I forgot something. So, yep.
that's okay.
Make sure to
Okay,
do
well,
that.
good deal.
Everything's
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Maggie. Thank you for everyone else for joining us here on this live broadcast. A lot of folks excited to have you online. I know we're certainly excited to have you part of the team here, Maggie. And yeah, thank you for watching this midday kind of update here from Mississippi Live Weather. And we will see you again. Next live broadcast will be at 5 p.m. today. It's a pretty nice day. Find a way to get outside and enjoy it because, as you well know, there's not a whole lot of days we get every year. So today, one of the good ones. We'll see you come up at 5 o'clock for the very latest.
At Room to Room, did you know our specialty is custom ordered upholstery? Get the furniture you want and the fabric and color selection you want. With our free design service, we won't let you make a mistake.